Hi everyone, it's Becky here. So welcome to another new video on my YouTube channel. So I'm still recovering from a cold or flu, and yesterday I had high fever, but after a good night's of rest and sleep, I'm feeling much better today. And yeah, so I'm gonna do some sketches in my art journal after feeling sick for about 3 days. It's very hard for me to not sketch for more than 3 days. So here I am, back to my art journal, and so for the first sketch today, I want to do this lovely pot of water pennywort. And I got this cute kitty cat flower pot from Walmart about a month ago, and it's a lovely little ornament here for our dinner table. Let's get started. So I'm going to start drawing the spherical shape of the little pot, starting from the left side, and there's a little leaf overlapping on top of the brim area here, bit of the brim and the kitty cat's ear, and the right side of the spherical pot, the bottom is a little bit flat, and the little legs of the ceramic pot. And now it's time to relax and add these inner details for the face of the kitty cat, starting with this little triangle of the nose and the smile, the whiskers on the left and right, and just two simple dots for the eyes, and these little carvings for kind of the stripes. And just quickly get these repeating grainy little carvings done for the cheek area. And now it's time to move on to drawing these little green umbrellas of leaves. So we're going to start with this one not being covered up by any other things. The little veins inside. And the thin little stem, yeah, holding it up. And another leaf. This one is being foreshortened. As you can see, the oval is narrower. So all of these leaves, they are positioned at different angles facing me. So their circular shapes are kind of different from one another depending on the angle that they're facing me. So this one is facing me almost straight on, so they're close to a perfect circle. Okay, so here's the cluster of pretty big leaves. Now I want to add some baby ones, yeah, attached to these stamps. Yeah, so this water pennywort little plant is very fun to grow. They don't need any soil. You can grow them in just water with some pebbles in the pot. If you're growing them in soil, you have to make sure that the soil is wet all the time, otherwise they will wither. So I'm just gonna get these wriggly thin little stems in and then attach these umbrellas on. This one is more like a three-dimensional shallow dish shape, tilting at an angle. And there's another little mushroom shape over here, and it's shorter. Yeah, so when I'm getting these little stems and umbrellas in, I'm getting the ones that are not being covered up by other pieces first, and then draw the ones behind or in between. Accentuate some outlines a little bit. Okay, so now I'm going to add a few more on the upper right. They're very long, baby little umbrellas. And the stem, I think each of these is in a different, unique gesture. And all of them are kind of dancing together in this kitty cat pot. Okay, so I see a couple more leaves. So this houseplant is really easy and fun to sketch. There are not too many to draw. And another baby one behind. I want to color in the pebbly area with just solid brown ink, and then draw a little platform for it to stand on. Now it's time to have fun splashing on the greens. So I'm gonna wet all of these leaves with clear water first, so it's easier for me to do the wet into wet blending technique. So I'm gonna start with this warm, glowy yellow-green first, just to let these leaves shine. So I mixed lemon yellow, cadmium yellow, with lime green. And going back to my palette to mix a little bit more yellow-green, and every leaf is showing a different appearance of yellow-green, because we try to mix exactly the same color again, it's pretty hard, and that's okay. That's the fun of art. And yeah, some more little specks of yellow-green, and then wet into wet some dark green, which is lime green mixed with viridian green, wet into wet, to get these very smooth and satisfying blending of these two colors. So my secret is just to drop these darker shades of green right on there and just let gravity pull these two colors together and do the blending with the help of nature without trying to rub too much on each leaf. Yeah, just drop those shades of green and just let it be. And just move on to shading the next little leaf, and on and on. So one of the reasons I love about working with watercolors is that I don't need to control it too much, and it's very relaxing to work with. Okay, so now it's time to paint the thin little stems. As you can see, I just switched to my medium tip, smaller water brush, and just used a few hair on the brush bristle to paint these very thin areas of the stems. And I just used the two greens that I used for the leaves, the yellow green and the darker green, blending smoothly into each other. Okay, so I just want to add a few more little brush marks of darker green shades for some of these older leaves. Yeah. And overall, these leaves and stems, they're not too dark. Yeah. Okay, now it's time to paint the flower pot. Just wet it with clear water first, mixing permanent violet and cobalt blue together. Start painting a very mild layer of light gray, and then blending on a darker gray using the same color mixture, and even darker, containing more cobalt blue. There we go. Very spontaneous blending. Okay, and I'm just grabbing some leftover pink for the little ear of the kitty cat, and it really pops among these coat colors. And lastly, it's time to paint the shadow of the pot, again wetting the area with clear water, starting with a very light valued bluish gray, wet into wet, a slightly darker tone of blue-violet kind of gray. Yeah, and I love creating the fuzzy look of blending 2 to 3 values of grays together for my shadows. And final polish. That's it. Here's the look of my finished sketch of the little pot of water pennyworts. Okay, so my next sketch is gonna be this little bundle of bananas. So as you can see, they have these nice gradients of yellow to green, which is really nice to paint. So I'm going to start drawing this large chunk of the stem, joining these pieces of bananas together. And the first banana here on the left. And these bananas, they're kind of like boats or kayaks joined together. So same idea as I drew the water pennyworts. I drew the first banana in the front that's not being obstructed by any other pieces. And then the second one, yeah, almost a clean banana without any obstructions around it or in front of it. And then there's one sandwiched in between, beneath the two. And here is the fourth one behind. And for the fifth banana, we can only see the end of it and 6. Okay, so 6 bananas in a bundle.
Okay, so the outside of the banana looks more like a rectangular prism with these lines dividing each banana into maybe 2 or 3 sides. As you can see here, yep, here's the border between 2 sides, 2 bending sides of the banana's peel, and another one here. Yeah, so each banana has about 2 to 3 bending sides. Now, just want to accentuate each piece of banana a little stronger, and the bottom belly button bits for each piece. Yeah, and these gentle lines are very important to define the 3D shapes of the banana peels, not just puffy balloon shapes. Okay, now it's time to paint the vibrant yellow and green. And so I'm going to start to grab some lemon yellow and cadmium yellow. Mix these 2 yellows together. Yeah, and just simply spread it all over these bananas. Yeah, nice and easy. And my next step is, before the yellow is all dried, I'm going to do wet into wet. Some lime green for the top and bottom stem areas. Yeah, there we go. So the light green is blending very smoothly with the yellow. And just keep dragging the green a little bit towards the middle part of each banana a little bit more. Okay, so now I'm just gonna grab some permanent violet to add a bit of shading on top of the yellow. So purple and violet, it's a nice color to shade something yellow or yellow-orange. Okay, so now I'm using the leftover brown in my palette and dilute it with a lot of water to paint these blemish on the skin of the banana, and keep using more leftover blue violet to shade the banana's bending side on the bottom of each banana. I'm also grabbing some darker green to intensify one side of each stem's green, and a little green stripe coming on the border of the 2 sides there, and some more purple violet to shade very subtly. The yellow, it should be always the most dominant color, and it's time to paint the shadow of this bundle. Yeah, continue using this lovely shadow color of blue violet, and gently intensify some of the green areas a little bit more. And very lastly, I want to grab some more violet to glaze over the yellow skins. So the bananas are looking like real ones, not plastic pieces. So the maple trees outside my window, they're changing colors now. And I'm going to start to record the beginning of fall in my art journal. Yeah. So I just did a quick little square frame. I want to have a foreground element, the roof and the upstairs windows of my neighbor's house. Yeah, so just drawing these window frames and the wooden panels on the bottom of the window. Okay, so now I just eyeballed the height of these trees in relationship to the height of my neighbor's house on the right hand side. And yeah, and just getting these organic razor contour outlines done for the treetops, and then dividing these trees into individual canopies and branches sticking out using these very loose organic lines, pretty much non-stop. So this is actually a very slow time lapse, just 2 times faster than my actual drawing speed. So I love drawing trees. I never get tired of drawing them because these details of branches, they're very much like kind of like very abstract human mannequins, like little arms waving in the wind. So I'm always able to find spiritual connections with trees, shrubs, flowers, and other plants when I draw them. So this August in Vancouver has been pretty chilly. We've had so many rainy days and overcast days with temperatures below 20 degrees Celsius. So some of my neighbors, they almost turned their heaters on. Yeah. Okay, now it's time to paint the sky first, just wetting it with clear water. And then grabbing some cerulean blue, mix it with a tiny bit of lime green, because evening sky, they're having a little tint of turquoise in it. And painting over the treetop a little bit, because some of the sky is showing through the branches gaps. Intensify the very top part of the sky with more concentrated cerulean blue. It's a very simple and quick gradient of blue sky. Okay, so now it's time to put these drops of yellow greens first. So which is lemon yellow mixed with lime green, and then some pure orange and permanent red. Permanent rose as well, these pure warm colors straight from the watercolor palette. And just putting these quick dashes of red and oranges as I see, following my observation. And yeah, so most of these reds and oranges, they're around the top of the tree's canopies. Some more yellow-green, blending in, playing with different ratio of yellow and lime green. So each brush mark is very fluid and unstable. Using these little dots of yellow-green to show the shimmering leaves in the evening sunlight. And keep being more expressive, getting these greens in over these white spots. And yeah, as you can see, I'm leaving some paper white spots for the extreme highlights. When the sun is traveling through the tree's canopy, some little spots could be pretty much like the highlights on plastic or glass. Very shiny. And now I'm just blending on some shade green by mixing burnt sienna into viridian green for the bottom part of the tree's canopy, getting a little less sunlight. And I'm just going to use the leftover yellows and browns and the yellow greens to paint my neighbor's house. And that's very much it. My quick 10-minute sketch of the changing colors outside my window. Here's the look of my finished sketchbook page. So thank you so much for tuning in and watching this video, everyone. If you like it, please click like and leave me a comment below. Subscribe to my channel for weekly updates. And I will see you around in the next vlog tutorial video very soon. Have a great, wonderful start of autumn, everyone. See you next time. Bye.